Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is one of the fire ceremonies that if you're returning, you're probably used to by now, or at least like I do them sometimes. So what came to me over the last day or two was that we still have a cord, a narcissistic karmic cord to our throat chakra. And for many of us, this could be from a narcissistic parent, caregiver, or anyone who has the role of such. It could be a much older sibling or a foster parent, an uncle, and anyone who kind of had that role where they were sort of like a parent in a sense. And what I was guided to is that it's like they're like the puppet master of our lives in a sense, by imposing their will and intentions onto us so strongly that even if they don't say or do anything directly, but just through wishing for certain things, through the energetic and spiritual realms, that stuff can happen, right? And especially with narcissistic parents, there are no boundaries because they considered us an extension of themselves and not individual people who are like, we were not considered our own people in a sense, right? So that's why for so many of us who are highly sensitive, that in a sense that was our training to become so sensitive, because we always had to kind of work around their moods and what was going on with them. But now, stepping into our power, we have to learn to set good boundaries, and we need to fully and completely sever any and all ties that are still stopping us from speaking our truth, from speaking up, and from voicing our opinion freely, honestly, truthfully, and in line with ourselves and who we are, in line with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. So we're going to cut that blue cord. And I have a few more things. So part of what we need to heal from as well is that for many of us, we've been holding on to resentment and also fear of being hurt again. So we weren't quite able to just let it go and forgive freely as much as we may want to on a mental level, but emotionally it's a different story. That's still harder to let go. So the wooden squirrel shall represent the hoarding mentality, right? So in a sense, we're emotionally hoarding, like holding on to those emotions. And the little wooden acorns shall represent the emotions, the negative emotions that we've hoarded, that we're holding on to, that we need to let go or let go of. And I found another wooden stake. So like with the narcissists, there's more of that energetic siphoning, like that vampiric, unhealthy, energetic imbalance going on. So we're gonna do that again, and we're gonna break these toxic karmic patterns by breaking the walnut. We're asking for more divine justice. Those are just my scissors. And I found a really cool piece of wood that's basically like a U-turn. And what it made me think of is that we're basically doing a 180. So from being karmics ourselves in the healing process, we're completely turning it around, and we're turning into divine masculines or feminines, right? So, or just into divine beings. Let's put it that way. And we're now walking a straight path rather than a crooked one. So we're going to put all that in the fire, ask our spirit guides for healing, and yeah, I think that's it. So please cleanse and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, evil, and low vibrational, anything toxic that is still within us, any shadows that need to be cleansed, cleared, and healed and let go. And flood us with massive amounts of healing light, unconditional love, blessings, and protections from the divine. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Okay. So let's call them in officially. Dear Creator, Higher Power, Source, and Soul Energy, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, dear Mother Earth, our ancestors that are in the light, Great Spirit of the fire, as well as the other elements. So I have some water in my mugs over here. Then we have earth and air all around and below us, like underneath us, not like below only in the physical spatial sense. Please join the ceremony and assist the healings and prayers with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. We ask very strongly for your help, assistance, healing, and protection in fully breaking these karmic bonds that are still preventing us from speaking our truth, where in a sense we are like the puppet of the narcissistic puppet masters in our lives, and they shall no longer be masters of anything in our lives. Oh yes, that reminds me. Earlier I was doing an affirmation that no one has any power over my life, and instead of life I said light, which I felt was very significant. And that's exactly it. We're not allowing these dark ones to have any more power or control over our light, the light within us and our lives, because that's what keeps us pure. That's what helps us ascend. That's what makes us light workers, star seeds, earth angels, rainbow children, etc. Right? The 144,000, the chosen ones, whatever name or label you identify with. But, or maybe let me just quickly say the ascending ones. Maybe that's easier. Okay, anyway. And light warriors. Okay, so let any and all karmic and dark, toxic bonds that still connect us to... Oh, hold on, I gotta switch hands. Let any and all of those dark, toxic bonds between us and these karmic ones now and forever be removed from us, so that we may speak our truth and speak up and stand up for ourselves. And that shall be applied throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime. And it shall be applied to body, mind, spirit, soul, energy field, and any and all karmic aspects. I think I mentioned that already. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. So any and all of those karmic bonds that kept us hostage to those narcissistic patterns and stopped us from speaking up shall now and forever be burnt and transmuted into love and light and we shall fully and completely heal from that. We shall be in our power, and we shall fully turn into our highest potential and the person we're supposed to be in this lifetime according to our soul mission, our soul purpose. We shall fulfill our soul purpose and fully and completely stand in our power and be on our highest timeline. Oops. Oh, sorry, that's really hot. So give me a sec. Let the fire of healing and transmutation transmute anything that is still dark and unhealed within us. Any and all shadows and unhealed soul fragments shall be healed and transmuted into the pure divine love light energy within us. And we shall be fully and completely flooded with that divine love light energy and frequency and surrounded by it, so that we're wrapped in a massive protective bubble. And it's like the divine is wrapped all around us, and we're so completely safe, shielded, and protected, and divinely and intensely, unconditionally loved. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. And those karmic ones shall fully and completely lose their power. We are fully and completely disconnected from them, and we ask that they shall also heal from everything within them that made them so controlling, toxic, and narcissistic. Whoops. Oh. And it is hot, and they're face down. And upside down. That's actually very telling. Okay, we're lying down. We're more resting, okay? Actually, yeah, so I think many of us have been feeling a little bit tired and exhausted and burnt out, because a lot of those energies have been very exhausting, right? Always having someone tug on our energy can take a bit of a toll, so we have to remember self-care, right? That was just a little message that was important to come through. Okay. And all of those draining vampiric energies shall now and forever be burnt away and eliminated and removed from our lives and transmuted and healed. We're letting go of anything within us that has allowed access to these kind of energy patterns within us. We release, as Louise Hay would say, we release the pattern within us that has allowed that kind of dynamic. I think her wording was slightly different, but very similar. And so it is, all my relations, all our relations. We shall no more hold on to anger, hate, and resentment, and any and all other dark, toxic emotions, because we're all human, and we're all, like all of us humans, are nursing our own hurts and pains. And the more damage, hurt, pain, and suffering has occurred, the more toxic the behavior is. So we're letting go of all of that. We're not taking it personal. We bless them all with love and release them from our lives and our energy fields. And let me just throw, whoops, not the rock, But let's throw all these wooden acorns in there as well. So all the emotional resentment. Whoops. Whoa, whoa, whoa. One wanted to get away. So all the toxic emotional resentment that we've been holding on to, we're letting go. And we're releasing it to the divine, trusting that it will fully and completely heal and be resolved and reintegrated into source energy. And so it is, all my relations. Ooh, that felt good. Whew. Oh my goodness. And I'm actually feeling guided to use the gavel that I usually use for justice to actually break those toxic patterns. Oh, this is an old one from before. I'll throw that in. So justice, divine justice shall be done, and we shall receive all the help and healing needed to fully and completely break those toxic patterns. And that shall be done for all of our lineages as well. So maternal and paternal, and if there are any like step or foster lineages that have strongly affected us, all of that shall have, like maybe through half siblings that another side also affected us, all of that shall now and forever be healed and released from us and our lives. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. And divine intervention, justice, and protection shall take over and guide us very strongly in our healing and ascension process. All of that shall be transmuted into divine love light energy and be returned to source energy. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations. Oh, that feels good. Oh. Hold on, let me try the other hand. I think since I'm right-handed, it's a little easier for me on the other side. Okay, it feels like it wants to die down. So let's switch to the rattle. Okay, everybody, just let it out through sound. And we're putting in the turnaround wood to help us in our ascension in becoming a divine rather than staying a karmic. And I'll just put the straight wood in too, although this one's not really that important, but I'll just put it in as well. And this needs to go in a little more. Okay, so here are the little mannequins that represent us. That's gonna burn away. Ah, yes, and actually there was something that I wanted to talk about, that I was being guided. Ignore the last word, that was actually part of the next topic. Or like the notes, because throughout the day I take notes of what I receive, like what kind of guidance I receive. And like, for example, the word cobra came up, and then I received strong guidance on the error of rigid spiritual ways. And excuse my scribbles, I also like write when I drive, which I know I shouldn't. But, well, not when I drive fast, but I just kind of have it next to me and I don't really look, so it's not super clear, but I can read it and I'll read it to you. Okay, so the era of rigid spiritual ways, and there are two examples that I have. One is years ago I was in a native spiritual ceremony where a pipe was passed around. And it wasn't clearly explained to us how exactly we were supposed to hold it, so I held it slightly differently and was yelled at. And that's one of the things that is completely against spiritual ceremonies. They're supposed to be a safe place or a safe space where everyone comes together with the same goal of healing, and it should be a warm, fostering spiritual environment, yet that wasn't. And a lot of times that's a sign of the extreme damage that people have within them. A lot of times like severe abuse, and that makes them cling on to things in a very rigid way, which is kind of the devil energy. It's a form of control, and all of those controlling ways where it's basically like my way or the highway. And I'm not disrespecting anyone's traditions by any means. Like in my example, like there was no ill intent. It was just that sometimes if you don't know it 100%, you do the best that you can and know how. And the most important thing is the intention that counts, right? So basically, it's the dark working through people that have a lot of damage. It's the darkness within them that comes out. It doesn't mean that they're bad people, but there's a lot going on in some spiritual circles, communities, and like even ceremonies that I believe, in my opinion, needs a little bit of an overhaul as well. And people need to realize that in order to ascend, they may want to open up a little bit to other possibilities and other ways as well. But I think like most people in the ascension process are doing that. It's just that one kind of really came up. And there was another one where a firekeeper was telling me how, they cut down a tree for each of the ceremonies, for each of the sweats. And they do prayers and put tobacco down, which is all good and wonderful. But when I told them that, like, making deliveries, I pass a lot of free firewood every day almost, where, after a storm, or when people cut down branches, or if a tree is no longer healthy and it needs to be cut, all that wood gets put on the curb for pickup, and then it basically gets fed into the wood chipper. And I suggested that, I could let them know where they are and it could be picked up. And hey, that's, first of all, free firewood. Second of all, no healthy tree has to die and be cut down if there's already wood available. And he didn't want to hear it and was very closed-minded to it. And was telling me that no, healings and prayers have to be done for that, and tobacco be put down, and you gotta ask the spirit of the tree for permission to be used in that way. And I was thinking, like, it makes no sense. And I did mention some of that as well to him, but again, he didn't want to have it. He didn't want to hear it. That what if the healing that's done in the ceremony anyway is also applied to the wood, and the wood is honored one last time in that way, and it can be healed. Prayers can be said and done for the wood, and it can be honored and thanked for allowing it to be used in such a sacred way one last time. But again, it's like there was no receptivity, right? So that was pure ego and darkness speaking through that one. And that's what we're all currently healing from. Like, we're going through an ego death, or working towards that. And the ego is controlling in forceful ways. It's based in fear, comes from abuse, and it's hateful, and it's basically the devil energy, right? And that's the opposite of being open to divine guidance and following it, like, openly, freely, and, without limitations, and which is the path to oneness. And that also includes being honest with ourselves, right? Again, forget weight. That was a different note that should probably be on the next page. But yeah, so this was something that also that we need to, I need to put this page in the fire. That's something we need to let go and heal from. Hold on, let me just... Okay, so... Please heal us from these rigid ways and help us fully and completely open ourselves to divine guidance. Let us be fully receptive to it. Let us fully be honest with ourselves and listen to what is really for the highest good of Mother Earth, the divine, and all beings on this planet. And in this case, for example, like in my one example, the trees, right? Help us, on the one hand, learn and keep good, strong boundaries that protect us from the dark, narcissistic devil energy. And on the other hand, be fully open to the divine, to follow that guidance without reservations, without limitations. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations. Now we're done. Ooh, that had to come out. Excuse me. Yeah, something is being cleared in the throat. Okay, that's it. Let us take a deep breath in, breathing in all the good divine energy. And let us breathe out any of that dark stuff that is still lingering. And so it is. All my relations, all our relations. Okay, everyone. Let this ceremony now be finished and accept our love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings. Please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. And thank you all for watching, for working on your own healing and ascension, and for being a part of this ceremony. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'm also sending you tons of love and light, many blessings, and be well until next time. Bye.